Team House taste my pee, okay?
All right.
There was a bus that pulled up to a red light, and Little Nog tried to feed it a carrot.
Could you give us a quick count to 10, both of you gentlemen, if you don't mind?
Nate can only count to 5. 10.
I'm gonna take your soul.
That's good. At least you don't have to go to Wizard of Oz to get some courage there, little lion.
You are mentally unstable, and I will break you in the fight.
Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass. I pulled that sumbitch out, and I beat him over the head with it. Woo! No man that beats off the cartoons is gonna beat me. Calm down. Calm down.
I love you, man. I love you, man. Let's fight right now. I'm a caveman.
In American, you cannot fight in street.
There we go.
I am from real mountain. I can eat you in street.
Here we
fight.
go. You're getting mad, Khabib.
Since the sport's inception, trash talking has been a massive part of it. But have you noticed something lately? Where are all the trash talkers? You can literally count on one hand the amount of actually good trash talkers there are right now. No, literally. And even then it's debatable. With guys like Colby on the way out,
I'm gonna bring you the 7th layer hair.
7th layer hair.
And Hamzat openly talking about how he's grown past most of it, beside the odd moment he still has here or there.
When you do the job long time, bro, so you become comfortable, you become calm, bro.
Well, who even really is there now? Ilya and Patty for sure. Strickland is still around. Merab definitely talks a good bit. Pena, I guess. Jamal Hill. Where are the really good trash talkers at? Pereira and Ankalaev definitely gave it their best, but they were speaking through translators.
Shama.
And I definitely wouldn't be referring to Pereira as a trash talker. That was basically just because he has beef with Ankalaev. That's a rare thing for him. And this has always existed, even going back to the 90s.
If you like me, fine. If you don't let the door hit you in the ass when you leave.
You have Tito starting up in 1997, who before all the CTE was actually pretty good.
And I'm gonna look down at him, and I'm gonna show him no respect like he has nobody else.
That's right. I hope you have Vince McMahon's number, because I think you'd be looking for a job after this one.
Vince McMahon,
Or how about all the guys that tried to talk their game up with fake records?
Andy has a record of 86-0 with all 86 by knockout.
Jason DeLucia literally tried to put a curse on Boss Rutten and Pancrase, whatever the hell that means.
And that is the liver shot that finished the fight and that broke his liver.
And the 2000s was when Tito and Ken blew up their rivalry, or Tito and Chuck. How about Rashad and Rampage? That was one of the craziest ones ever.
You in my face, call me a bitch. Treat me like a bitch right now. Treat me like a bitch right now.
Mir and Lesnar, Nick and Nate Diaz started back then. Lee fucking 53 million heist Murray.
You wanna come and do this? You think you're ugly? I'll be embarrassed to lose to you. Look how ugly you are.
Michael Bisping, Chael Sonnen going on his legendary trash talk during 2009 and really taking off in 2010. Guys, it's hard to even mention everybody. There were just so many that were really good at this thing.
To show GSP, say he's not a quitter. I was right there watching him quit. When Matt Serra was beating his ass, I saw him turn to the side and tap the mat. You tap from strikes, you're a little bitch.
People that weren't just good at it, they were top billing stars with million-plus pay-per-view buy shows to back up their star power. I actually did a comparison between now and 10 years ago. And while I've got 5 debatably good trash talkers now in 2025, well, in 2015, there were 22 guys. 22. 18 of which were all blockbuster stars. Tony and Habib, TJ and Cruz.
I mean, he was the first one to say, I'm knocking Dominic out in 2 rounds. I see holes in his game. I'm definitely under his skin, but he's not smart enough to realize it's a battle. He hasn't understood that, he's got to be able to speak if he wants to sell tickets for himself. I'm taking my balls out, for lack of a better term.
Alistair.
Is there a beef, if you will, between you and Bigfoot?
No, there's no beef. I mean, he's just acting like a baby. I want to fight him, blah, blah, and then when I see him, he's like, hey, give me a hug. He's just a fake guy.
You think Junior Dos Santos is scared of you?
100%.
What makes you say that?
First of all, I know that he didn't want to fight me in the first place, and I know he was happy. I just know that.
DC and Jones.
Hey, pussy, are you still there? I'm here.
Rashad and Rampage, like I mentioned earlier. Nick Diaz fought that year with Anderson Silva. And of course, Conor and Ronda.
Respect everything, all you being sweet. I see right now that it's fake and you're going to get it on Sunday.
And if you can't see where I'm going with this, Doesn't it seem like our lack of star power right now in the sport could be, in part, due to a lack of trash talkers? This is something everybody's been talking about over the last couple of years. Where are the stars? There's no coincidence good trash talk builds fights and makes those bigger stars. And yeah, I think that's why we're missing a lot of it at the moment. And let me be clear, I think trash talk is best when it's actually genuine or at least somebody's natural ability. That was Chael's personality. I mean, he could have done stand-up comedy for a living. Rampage, that's definitely who that guy was.
I told Joe Carnahan, I said, hey man, let's make another movie. He said, shut up, Rampage.
Bisping had a legitimate chip on his shoulder that drove him to say all kinds of crazy stuff.
If nobody knows who you are, nobody gives a damn.
You can't script Tony Ferguson's Ninja Turtle speech.
This is a rat race, but I'm no rat. I'm a fucking turtle. Ninja Turtle. Well, which one's your favorite? I like Michelangelo.
And Khabib, man, nobody could forget him talking shit to Michael Johnson while he beat the shit out of him. And if you haven't figured out that Conor's batshit crazy by this point, I just don't even know what to tell you. That guy is wild. What? So yeah, I don't actually recommend trash talking for people who aren't actually good at this sort of thing. I think it's better when it comes from a fighter's real personality. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane should have talked trash, because that's not who they are either. But my God, don't forget that it's a press conference. It doesn't have to be trash talk. Just say something worthwhile at a press conference. That's why everyone's there. You're trying to sell a fight. Say something you actually believe at the very least. I don't think they got even one good quote out of that entire press conference.
Do you think it could also be a tricky matchup based on how he moves?
I think so.
You talk good.
Everything came from that dick comment from Tom Aspinall the day before.
I think I'm fighting a losing battle with that one, unfortunately.
And as the guys like Pereira have shown, if you are that damn exciting with your fighting style, it can legitimately do the talking. Going back to the Fedors or Krokops or even Chuck Liddells, they were stars without talking a whole lot. Big talkers definitely aren't the only kind of stars as these examples prove, but that is a lot more rare to have a style that does speak for itself. And I think that's why there is a shortage of stars at the moment, because most people's fight styles won't be in that exceptional category. What I'm saying is, the trash talking element seems to have evaporated. It's not the only type of star, but it's a type of star that is totally absent now. And it was a big share of it. And the question is, well, why? I think you could argue a lot of different things. One, it is true that there is only a single American champion at the moment, and that is Kayla Harrison. Currently, Joshua Van is the only American fighter booked in a title shot. A few others are also on deck, but why does that matter? Well, obviously trash talk in English kinda helps if you can speak English really well. But coming from a country that has English as its first language doesn't mean anything either with the guys like Aspinall or Lerone Murphy. No, they don't talk trash like the Dan Hardys or the Bispings in their heyday. And plenty of second or even third language speakers like Ilya and Merab aren't held back by that and definitely get after trash talking in fights. I don't think they're up there with the greatest, but this is my point. There just isn't much of it at the moment, and these are two of the better examples right now at a championship level.
Umar, you and Islam have shared so many memories together. I want to know, what's your best moment with him?
About Islam, he all
about jacuzzi.
Former UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev was critical of you this week.
We don't give a fuck about him, so save that question.
But anyhow, my point is, sure, American champs could be a factor, but I don't know, there are plenty of great English speakers outside of America who could be doing trash talk and historically have. So I reject the idea of fewer American champions at the moment being the issue. And of course, another explanation is just the classic reason. Fighters are definitely afraid to eat their words. Talking big can definitely mean losing big, which I fully agree with, but that has literally been true from the beginning of the sport. It never stopped trash talkers back then. Why only now would it be? I don't think that's the reason it's happening. It's gotta be something else. So what exactly is it? Let me give you some specific examples. Do you remember when Michael Chiesa and Kevin Lee got into it at a press conference a few years ago? For those that don't know, this is what happens.
I know his mama got tickets, so
shut the fuck up about, hey, don't talk about my mom for one. Don't you ever talk about my mom.
And yeah, what was immediately happening? This being 2017, you know, the year Conor fought Floyd Mayweather, his popularity was absolutely scorching, and all anybody could think of was this being a bad McGregor impression, especially on the part of Kevin Lee. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think that's really who he was, and he did appear to be adopting a lot of, I don't know, Conor-isms. And it was everywhere. Even Luke Rockhold was doing the self-belief thing that Conor used to do. Really didn't work out for him.
Sounds like the most self-help book you've ever read. Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the fuck up.
And obviously, Ilia Topuria to this day has a lot of parallels with Conor that are pretty glaring. The comparisons are just undeniable there. So yeah, there are plenty of examples of people imitating Conor, which means the criticisms of doing it are, yeah, sometimes fair. But I think the downside of this is, man, in more ways than one, the megastar that was Conor McGregor's career has left a mega-sized crater in the sport as well that I hope we are finally going to start climbing out of. For one, being in that impact zone of his career beyond trash talk just means if you are a star at the level before he was around, it's hard to stand out when that guy is still standing right next to you. And this has lasted well beyond him being gone from the sport. I mean, he hasn't fought in years at this point. I don't think we'll see a Conor-sized star for a very long time, if ever again. I hope I'm wrong about that, but we've got to get away from these Conor comparisons is my point. The guy's star power is a unicorn, as Dana's always put it. And of course, part of that crater has meant literally anybody who's talked trash since Conor first became champion literally 10 years ago by this point, which is crazy to think about. Well, yeah, it's meant a lot of these guys get told they're just trying to be Conor clones. What we need to do is get away from these comparisons and move on. The guy ain't coming back, and at this stage, I don't think most people have actually cared for a long time now. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. A new era is upon us. I really hope the death of pay-per-view and now switching to Paramount without it, maybe that will mean because more people are watching the sport in 2026 that more stars will start to naturally develop out of this era. Every era has its own stars, and MMA has always been a star-driven sport, and hopefully these naturally charismatic trash talkers will start to come forward. Bottom line is the sport needs more stars. It always has, it always will. It's just part of how it works. Let me know if you guys think we're about to see a change here in terms of star power with the Paramount era, more people watching who don't have to pay $80 fucking or go to some dodgy website that gives you 1 million pop-ups and a few viruses. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.